Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome.
She's doing a live broadcast on Facebook.
Sorry.
Every Saturday.
Sorry, running just a little bit behind. Lost track of time because why? I was creating. So, come on in. Few housekeeping items. If you see that red live box up here, whoops, up here means we're live. If not, no worries. Hit hashtag replay. I'd love to be able to say hello to you and thanks for watching. So come on in. To get us started, my name's Christy. I'm the owner of Uncommon Necessities, and we're located here in the Town Square Mall, 1700 Southeast Mile Hill Drive in Port Orchard, Washington. Our shop hours, we have a brick and mortar store. Our shop hours are Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday, 10 to 5. So come on down and check us out. A lot of great things happening down here at the mall. We got some beautiful new skylights in. So now there's lots of great sunshine pouring into our Town Square Mall. Lots of great businesses coming in. So if you have time, come down and check us out. So come on in. I hope everyone is having a great Saturday. I know it's cold out there, and I hear there's supposed to be snow, so make sure you bundle up and stay warm. But we will be open tomorrow unless there's some reason we can't get out of our driveway. So come down and visit us if you need something to do, would like something to do. Come down and visit us. We'll be open tomorrow. So come on in, friends. I want to show you the end result of our project last week. Show you something I'm working on. And then really excited to share with you what we're going to do today. So looking forward to that. We're going to use, of course, the new IOD, Iron Orchid Design products, because they are just so much fun and so good. So I can't wait to get started with those. And don't forget, friends, we have a creators corner now where you can share the projects that you've finished or that you're working on. Or maybe you have a question for the group of, I have this issue or problem with my project, and what are your guys' thoughts on how to fix it, or anything like that. So please feel free to post those in that creators corner. Would love to see what you're working on and help answer any questions you might have as well. So it's a great space for all of us to share and gain inspiration and knowledge from. So would love to see you there. Give it another minute or two for our friends to join. Oh, there is something I want to mention too, is save the date for March 18th, 8 p.m. till midnight. We have our night market going on down here at the mall. Our first one went well. It was great. Lots of fun. The second one will be on March 18th, and it's St. Patty's Day themed. And so we'll have vendors here at the mall. There will be live music. There'll be a place to dance. Great vendors. Our shop will be open, so you can come browse our shop. And a lot of the shops will be open as well. So if you're looking for something to do on a Saturday night, save the date for March 18th. Come down and check us out. It was a lot of fun this last event, our first one. And so the second one's even going to be better. So that'll be a lot of fun. Come down and check that out. Then there is, let's see, is there anything else? Stay tuned. Make sure you're liking and following our page, because we will have some exciting posts coming up here pretty soon, talking about shop hours and all of that good stuff. We're going to be expanding those. So make sure you're liking and following our page so you can get those notifications when I make those posts, so you can stay on top of the news. And then if you could share me out to your friends so we can have more friends joining us, that would be great because the more the merrier when we're doing our crafting and all that fun stuff. So, all right, enough of the housekeeping. Let me get us started. So the project that I'm working on is a tray. And let me point my camera down a little bit. Sorry for my hand, friends. But it is a wood tray. This is a wood tray that I got from Amazon. And it came as a 3-pack. And I don't think it was any more than like $25 for 3 of them. Really nice, sturdy trays. I painted this in Dixie Belle cotton chalk paint. And then I used an Iron Orchid Design paint inlay. And let me share that with you. A paint inlay to get this image in the bottom of my tray. And look how beautiful that is. Isn't that a beautiful image? And then what I did was I poured clear resin over the top so it'll preserve that image in there. But you can certainly use a top coat and it'll work well for that too. Last few things I'm going to do is outline this in gold and then make the handles gold and then seal the rest of the tray and it'll be ready. But I wanted you to see the chalk paint with the paint inlay and how beautiful that is. Look at the detail in that. Isn't that just amazing? Hello, Greg. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, paint inlays, we have 4 different ones, and I do have a new release one coming. And paint inlays, we've done them before, but they're really a great product. And what it is sheets of paper that are actually painted. Let me open this one up so you can see it. Sheets of paper that are actually have painted images on them. And all you do is put a thin layer, not real heavy, but not terribly thin, layer of paint on the surface that you want to put your image on. You would take your paint inlay paper, and so they come with these beautiful painted images on here. Look at that. That's painted onto the paper. While your paint is wet on your surface, you would put your image down, and then you would spritz it with water, let it dry. Hi, Linda. Welcome. Thanks. I appreciate it. You would spritz it with water, let it dry, and you could actually leave it for a couple of days if you can't get back to it. It's no big worry. Once it's dry, then you would spritz it again, and then you would peel your paper back, and now this paint has inlaid into your wet paint. So now it's all dry. And so then you get this beautiful image on your surface. Now, the other great bonus about these paint inlays is that you can use them a couple of times, each sheet. So each time you use it, it gets a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter. But some have gotten them, been able to use them up to 3 times. And it just gives it a more vintage feel each time you use it. So it's a really great product, and you get a lot of uses out of these sheets. So if you haven't tried it, I encourage you to give it a try and use these. They're really a great product to use to add to different pieces. So we have 4 different types right now in stock. I do have a 5th one on its way, and it is the new release IOD one, which has a beautiful, beautiful images that you can do as individuals. And I'll put this back later. I hope you're having a good Saturday, Miss Linda. And staying warm. That's the other thing. Make sure you're staying warm. It's cold out there. So last weekend, we worked on a couple of little kind of tiles, and we used the new mushroom mold from Iron Orchid Design, and we created these cute, my angle of my picture, cute little pictures using some Dollar Tree, a little bit of a transfer, and then Iron Orchid Design mushroom molds and air dry clay, and then Dixie Belle chalk paint to paint them. Aren't these adorable? Look at the details on those mushrooms. I mean, they're just beautiful. So we did this last weekend together. So this is the ones are finished. Oop, my camera angle, there we go. Wouldn't those be so cute in like a nursery or something hanging up? I did put little hangers on them. So I have a little twine so you can hang the pictures up. Whoops. But I just think they turned out so adorable. So that's what we did last weekend. And today we're going to have fun with more of the new Iron Orchid Design release. And let me show you what that is. Sorry if my camera's crooked. Let me see if I can straighten that out a little bit. Whoop. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, now we're straight. So I created this picture using the Iron Orchid Design transfers and this wood frame, which I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'll show you what it looks like in the package. And then I used the Dixie Belle chalk paint for the back. Look how cute this little picture turned out. Isn't that just adorable? So it could stand up and you just have a cute little picture. And the details, I don't know if you can see it, but the details on these transfers is just amazing. I mean, they're just beautiful. So I'm going to show you what that looked like. So as you can see, I used 3 of the mushrooms, and this is a 5x7 frame. And this is the transfer that I used, transfer packet, the Millot's pages. You get 8 sheets in this particular packet. And let me just show you how much of the mushroom transfers I used out of this packet. Here's the mushroom transfer sheet. Let me hold it up a little bit so you can see. And that's the amount of transfers I used out of it for that picture frame. I only used 3 of these mushrooms. So when I say there's a lot of meat in these packets, there is a lot that you can use and do great things with. So I only used this little tiny corner and one little piece out of down here. So lots of great options to use. So if you can see that, just amazing how much you get. So for today, we're going to use something out of this packet. And I know I showed it last week, but I think what we're going to use today, we're not going to use mushrooms. I don't think we're going to use the flowers. These are all gorgeous. I think it would be cute to do a framed of some fruit. I'm really not a fan of the beetles and the bugs, but you know, these would make really cute pictures. I think, not cute, but cute pictures that you could put in like a den or something like that. So I think those would be cool, but we're not going to use those today. I think we're going to use something with vegetables. Look at the vegetables on this. Oh, hang on. I got my little fishies coming up. Oh, I need to show you that one too. It's behind you, Greg. Can you give me that plaque? So look at these vegetables. So I think we're going to do something with the vegetables today. Then we have eggs, all different kinds. Then we have these beautiful butterflies. We may do something with the butterflies. I'll let you guys decide. Butterflies or vegetables. And then the very last page is fish. And I've kind of cut my page all up, but these are the fish. So really, really pretty awesome. What I did with the fish is I created a very simple board that's, you can get these boards at Hobby Lobby, or actually Michael's. I got this at Michael's. And it is just a board, and it has these little wood pieces on the back. All I did was put a clear coat over the top just to make sure that this finish stayed. It came already done like this. And then I just added my fish transfers to that. I mean, how cool and easy is that? And now you got yourself a pretty cool little wall hanging. Hi, Miss Melissa. Welcome. Glad you could join. Oh, I'm so happy you're all here. Hope everybody's having a good Saturday. But that's what I created using the fish transfers. So I think today we're going to use the vegetables. Unless somebody wants me to use the butterfly. And if you want me to do a butterfly, just let me know. I found these frames at Hobby Lobby. And they're 5x7. They're unfinished wood. So they're in the unfinished wood section. And like I said, they're 5x7. But they were $3.29 plus they had a % off. So these are really nice frames that you can choose the colors that you want for your frame and all of that. So I thought this was a great deal. Really good deal. So this is at Hobby Lobby in the wood pile section. Okay. And then we will be using today Dixie Belle Cotton chalk paint. I will be using the Dixie Belle Clear flat coat. We're going to use some Voodoo stain that's water-based, and it's called White Magic. I will be using Type Bond Quick and Thick, which I use for just about everything. You need a little piece of either craft paper. You can use watercolor paper. You could use just about anything, even a paper bag, cut in a paper bag. We're going to use this to cover our back piece of our picture frame. So I'll show you how to do that. But you just want something thin that you'll be able to glue right onto that surface. So you can use anything you want that could do that. I got these wonderful little tiny cutting mats at Dollar Tree. So we'll be using that today. And then I use an X-Acto knife to cut out the little words because I just think it's so cool. I cut out the little words for what the number each picture is, and I put those with the picture. So for example, here you see the mushrooms. I put the mushroom transfer, and then I cut out with the X-Acto knife the actual name of the mushroom and put it right below. So to get us started, how's everybody doing today? Are y'all staying warm? I know that down here they were working on the skylights at the mall, and so we had windows open. So the mall was pretty cold. So the first time I've had to bring in a space heater to stay warm in the shop. But the space heater's been working great to stay warm. But if you come down tomorrow, all should be done and the mall should be warm again. So come on down and visit us. So this is the unfinished wood. It's pretty cool. It even comes with the glass thing. So that's why I thought, gosh, $3.29, that's a great deal. Plus there was a percentage off. So look for those. And we're just going to take the back of this out. Maybe. There we go. I'm going to take the glass piece out and set it aside because we won't need that until the last little bit. Now, the back piece, the only reason I cover this piece, because actually it's a nice thick piece, you could paint directly on this and do pretty well. But I wanted to cover up these two little, I don't know if you can see them, but they're holes, and they're from this piece here. So I wanted to just at least cover those up. So all I did was take a piece of craft paper and trace this out. Yeah, so we got some new shops down here at the mall. The mall is getting pretty busy down here. We have a new pizza place coming in directly across from us. That'll be open soon. We have a t-shirt shop now. They print t-shirts, things on t-shirts. We have a workwear shop where you can buy all sorts of reflective gear and all of that. So we're really picking up down here, which is great. They've done some great things to remodel and still working on that. So we're just going to cut this out. And then, of course, there's always fun to be had at Dana's Pour Expressions. If you haven't had a chance to stop by her shop, she's all things paint pouring. And so that's a lot of fun. So I'm just cutting out my piece of paper that I just traced. Now this is my test of, can you cut a straight line, even with the line to guide? We'll see. We'll see. All right. Sorry I was a little bit late today. I got sidetracked and didn't even realize what time it was. And I was like, oh no. So I appreciate you guys jumping on and joining. It's always more fun crafting with friends. Okay, so now we got our piece of paper. What I want to do, kind of like when we do decoupage, really what we're doing is decoupaging this piece of paper right onto this board. So let me grab a paintbrush, and instead of using a decoupage medium or something of that, I'm going to use my Type Bond Quick and Thick glue. Hi, Miss Kay, welcome. Oh, girl, you're not late. I was late. I started late. I got sidetracked in what I was doing and didn't even realize what time it was. I was like, oh no. But we're all here now. So we're making this beautiful picture, but we're going to do vegetables instead of mushrooms. So right now I'm just gluing a piece of paper onto the back of my frame. So that way we don't have these two dots just sticking out of our picture like a sore thumb. So we're just going to get the glue all the way to the edge. And I'm only going to do like I do with decoupage paper, do about half at a time. And that's just because it dries so quickly that I want to make sure we get it on. You do want to make sure you kind of have it smooth, just because you don't want a lot of ridges under your paper, but that's okay if you have some. Not a big deal. Okay, so I'll start up here, and we'll glue this down. Just kind of like with decoupaging, you just smooth it down, just like that. And now we'll put some more glue down here. Yeah, that's what happened to you too. Yeah, I got sidetracked. I'm working on some other projects and I kind of got, whoops, sidetracked. It's easy for me to do. I'm one of those ones, squirrel. Squirrel. Now, it's going to be just a little bit bumpy from those little things, but that's okay. Once we put paint over it, and if we can position our transfers in just the right spot, you will never know that that even exists. So we're going to try that today. And I just thought this is such a great, easy project that you could add decor to your house that's a little different, a little unusual, but still looks really neat, as adding that special kind of touch. Okay, so I got that on there good. So let me, again, roll it down and smooth it out. And you could, like I said, you can use any kind of paper, because really the goal is that you just really want to put something thin down that now covers up those two spots. Now you don't even know they're there. See? Yeah, I'm definitely the squirrel kind of person. Squirrel! But I'm just glad you're here now, Miss K. Okay, so I'm just gonna give that a little bit of a dry, because it dries pretty darn quick, but it's okay, but still a little damp underneath. Let's see if we can dry it up a little bit. And again, don't forget, friends, that we have that Creators Corner. You can add the pictures of the projects you're working on, things that you've done. Maybe you have a question on how to finish something, or maybe there's an issue of something you're working on and you want to know the best solution for it. You know, put those questions there. We'll be glad to answer. It's really meant for an inspiration place for us, and a place for us to share all the good things that we're doing and learn from each other. So feel free to add to that. All you got to do is make a comment in that group and it'll post. There's nothing special you have to do, and it'll post right to the group. And I know that Kay, you have posted your beautiful items there, and I love seeing all those goodies. You do an amazing job, my friend. They are beautiful. So if you haven't seen those, go check those out at the Creators Corner. And all right, get a good brush here dry. So now I'm going to paint the back of this white. Now you can use any color you want. I thought the white would be best. It'll really make these pop and look really vibrant. So that's why I chose white. Yeah, absolutely, Kay. Everybody go check out those pictures. She's done some beautiful work. And I would love to see all of your work and the things you're working on. All right, so now we're just gonna paint directly right on this. And like I said, if you don't mind those little black dots, you can paint directly on the back of this board. Not a problem. It's a pretty thick board. It's not very flimsy at all. So it would be able to handle the paint. And we're going to probably end up giving this 2 coats. But you just want to get it on there. And like that. Okay. And like I mentioned, you're going to have wrinkles and things in it, and it's okay. You're not going to even see that when it's all done. It'll blend right in. And besides, it adds texture and all sorts of goodness to your piece. Now, the real question is, do you want me to do a butterfly or do you want me to stick with the vegetables? I am happy to do either. And Kay, I know you didn't see this, but this is something I did with the fish using a Michaels surface, so it just looks like this. And I just put the couple of the fish right on there. You want a butterfly, or you want to see the veggies? Well, we could probably do a butterfly and veggies. How about butterfly? Okay, we're gonna go with the butterfly, friends. Let's see what we got for butterfly. Okay, we're gonna put a couple of butterflies on. I know, isn't that so cool and so easy to do? The surface was already done, it was already painted. All I did was put the transfers on, and I've got myself a beautiful picture. All right, let me put one more coat on here because I want to make sure it's good and solid white. Super easy to do. Yeah, so, you know, get those painted surfaces and you can add your own pictures to them and they will look pretty darn awesome. Okay, so it looks like the butterflies won the vote. So we'll look at our butterfly sheet and see what we want to do. Because I do think a butterfly would be amazing in here too. I think all of them would be. I only got a couple of these frames and had no idea what I was going to do with them. And then this transfer came out and I said, aha, you use the mushroom transfers and they're fantastic. I know, aren't they just, the detail is just so amazing. I mean, the colors and the details. It's just so amazing. Okay, let me see. I may want to do just a little bit more. It's not quite as solid as I'd like it. Let me put just one more light coat on here, friends. And it's because I'm trying to cover up brown paper with white paint. That's why it sometimes takes more than one or two coats to get the solid color coverage that you might be looking for. Okay, that looks a little better. Okay, we're gonna go with that. Dry that up really quick. And the amount of transfers, yeah, that come in these sheets, like I was sharing earlier, I used 3 little mushroom transfers for my sheet, and I still have a ton of transfers left. So you can get so many different projects out of these. It's so great. Now, I hope everybody's going to stay warm tonight because it's supposed to snow, so make sure you bundle up and stay warm. I thought that spring was here, and I was going to change my potpourri that I have in the shop to the spring potpourri, and then it snowed, and I went, well, I guess it's still winter. We'll leave the evergreen still out. I was hoping for spring, but not quite yet. It's not quite spring yet. Okay, now I'm going to put down a top coat just because I like it makes the transfers go on super easy, but I like the finish that it just gives me a good finish on my chalk paint project. And so I want to make sure that this chalk paint's good and sealed. So I'm going to put a little bit of a coat, if I can get my jar open. That's half my fun. There we go. Okay. And then this is the Dixie Belle flat top coat. Get my brush good and cleaned out there. Okay. So I'm not going to put a heavy coat, just one light coat of my flat on top. And that's just to make sure I got a nice, good protected surface. And it makes it just a little bit easier for your transfers to adhere to that. They certainly will adhere just to the chalk paint. It just may take a little bit more elbow grease, but okay. There we go. All right, now we're going to set that aside. Let that dry while we work on our frame. Let me pull our frame over here. So what I wanted to do with the frame is I want to use the Voodoo stain, which is our water-based stain. And this comes in a couple of different colors. So we have a Voodoo stain in black, teal. The stain I used on this one is Tobacco Road. We have the white, we have a green, and a gray. So we have quite a selection in this water-based stain. So it's a really good stain to use. Let me clean out this paintbrush a little bit here. Now there's a couple of ways you can apply the stain. I like to use a paintbrush on my smaller projects, but you could certainly just squirt it on, rub it on, however you want to put it on. But I'm going to use the white, and so I'm just going to squirt some on my brush and just start brushing it on. Oh, the other thing I forgot to tell you we're going to use is to seal this. I am going to use, I want the white wax. So I'm going to use white wax in Dixie Belle to seal this project. And it looks really cool with the wood stain. So it gives it a little bit more coverage, but really protects it nice. Now you could certainly use clear wax or whichever color wax you really would like. If you wanted to kind of age this up, you might want to use a different color wax, a brown or a black or any of those. We have all those in shop. But right now, and you don't have to worry about getting too much on because you can always wipe this back. That's the great thing about stain is you can wipe it back and have the coverage you would like. Right now I'm just kind of brushing it on. And because it's water-based, it's so easy to clean up. That's what I love about it. It's so easy. This new release from Iron Orchid Design is such a beautiful release. It has so many elements for these smaller projects. And of course, you can still use them on bigger projects. But if you like doing the smaller type projects, you can get so many uses out of them. All right. One last little bit. And then I'm just going to give this a little bit of a wipe down just to make sure I don't have any globs of stain anywhere. Okay. I think I got it good and covered. Okay. Close that back up. Let me take a piece of my paper towel here and just kind of rub it down. And this is really just, you can either take wax or take some of the stain off if you want to use a wet wipe. That helps take some of that stain back as well. But all I really want to do is just make sure I don't have any areas where there's a lot of stain just sitting there. All right. Oops, looks like I missed a whole thing over here. Hang on, folks. looks like I missed a whole part of my frame. Okay. Now it looks like I got it. Okay. Let's wipe that back a little bit. All right. So you can still see that wood grain through there, but it just gives you that kind of light whitewashed look. So beautiful. So beautiful. Now you can do the back side if you want as well. As a matter of fact, since I'm here, I might as well go ahead and do that real quick. Let's just do the back side. And you have to work around these little doohickeys. But because it's water-based, if you get it on your little doohickey things, it'll come right off with a little bit of a wet wipe. So, don't even have to worry. We'll just put a little bit on this back. That way it'll be finished all the way around, which is what I like. Is everybody ready for spring, or who wants winter to continue? Anybody rooting for winter to continue? I mean, I like the snow. I really like the snow. I just don't like being out, having to be out in it, driving. That is no fun. No fun. All right. Now we got that done. Okay, backside has now been done. We'll just kind of wipe it back. I got a glob there. We don't want that. All right. Looks pretty good to me. There we go. You're ready for spring. You don't like the cold. You hate winter, Kay. Yeah, it's been really cold. I mean, cold. I don't like the cold either. It's no fun being cold. No fun. Sometimes I've asked myself, did I wake up and move to Alaska and I didn't know it? It gets so cold here sometimes. Yeah, I'm ready for spring. I'm ready to see all the pretty flowers pop up and starting to get a little bit warm. All that. So I'm just drying my wax up. My stain. Because the next step I want to do is I want to put some white wax on here, and that'll protect the wood. And then give it a little bit more of a deeper white color. It won't completely cover the wood. You'll still be able to see the wood grain through it. But it'll make it just a little bit more. All right. Let me go ahead and get my white wax out. So this is our Dixie Belle wax in white. I guess when the groundhog, is it when he sees a shadow or doesn't see a shadow? There's more winter. I guess he was right because he did predict more winter. So I guess he's still accurate. All right, I'm just going to take my wax and just rub it all over my piece. Don't worry if you get a lot in some area and not enough in the others. You're going to wipe this back when we're done. Do. Which is it? Is it if they see their shadow or if they don't see their shadow that you get more winter? Is predicting more winter? Anybody know? Because I don't know. Anybody have any idea? I guess he's pretty accurate though. Well, that's a good thing. You don't know either? Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. It's if he sees his shadow. I think it's if he sees his shadow. But anyways, we're getting more winter whether we want it or not. And I like the feel of the wax on my hands. It's very moisturizing to me. And so it won't hurt your hands if you don't have gloves on. So it's a good wax. So I'm going to take a soft cloth for this part. And I am just going to rub that wax back. So I get these t-shirt pieces in a big bag at the hardware store. And then I just cut them up as I use them, as I need them. Maybe if I can hold this on my hand, I can, well, okay. You're just not going to do it that way. All right. So now I'm just going to rub that wax back. And you're going to leave it where you want it. Rub it back. Now, if you use a dark wax on your wood, whether it be the brown or the black, make sure you always put the clear down first. Clear wax first. And that's because it'll make it much easier for you to pull back that white or that dark wax off there if you get too much and you don't like how dark it is. So whenever you're using the darker waxes, make sure you always put clear down first. It makes it much easier to wipe off the dark wax. Okay. All right. I think we got our frame just about done here. Make sure I get the back. And then I'll have to come back later and clean up my little wood pieces, or my little pieces here, and wipe them down. But like I said, because it's water-based, it's really easy to clean up. So that will be easy peasy. All right. So now you can see it doesn't, that white wax doesn't add a lot of color to it. It adds a little bit, especially in the groove. So it gives you kind of another little dimension there. But now your wood is protected. It's sealed. So it's a really great option. Okay. Let me make sure this feels good and dry. So this is going to be how our picture frame looks when we put it in. Won't that be beautiful? That'll be so pretty together. Okay. Now, here comes the hard part. We got to choose a butterfly. Let me get to the butterfly page. I'm not a big fan of the bug page. Okay, here is our butterfly. So, this is our butterfly page. And what I do to choose is I will look at my template and see what would fit. So this one's going to be too big, and so is that one. But this monarch would be beautiful, I think. And let's see, how much of the monarch take up? How big is that monarch? It takes up about half the page. I think the monarch, and we can cut this guy right here out, and let's see how he looks on there. So whenever I do a picture, I try to always go with the odd number. So we really would like to get 3 items on our picture. So sometimes it's a matter of cutting and just holding it up there and seeing what's going to work. So let's cut out the monarch because it's beautiful. And you just kind of got to be careful to not get anybody else's antennas. We don't want that. But let's do the monarch. Now you could use a razor, the razor blade, and put it down on your cutting mat and just go around and outline, and then it'll pop out. Of course, I'm choosing it to do it the harder way, but it still works. Just trying not to cut anybody's wings off or antennas off. But I think this monarch will look beautiful. And the details on these butterflies is just amazing. Okay, there's the monarch. Let me hold that up. Can you see how beautiful that monarch is? So pretty, so pretty. Okay, so if we lay our picture frame on top of our board here, we want to make sure that we get all our little buddies inside the picture frame, right? So we don't want wings. Is this not monarch? Maybe this isn't a monarch. They're in French. This one says Macoun. Macoun, if anybody knows how to speak French. I thought that's a monarch. But anyways, it's a beautiful butterfly nonetheless. Okay, so he goes like that because the words are that way. So we could probably stick, let's see if we can put this little guy down here. I like that blue. It's such a pretty color. So let's see if we can get him down there. So whenever you're doing pictures, think of the rule of, think of odd. That's the rule you want to go with. So you want to 3, 5, 7, and it's just because it's more interest for the eye. And so now that doesn't mean you have to stick with that. You can do even if you like. It's kind of whatever you prefer. Okay. Whew. We had to work on him a little bit. Okay. And then his little wording goes this way. So I think we have room to put one small one right here. And let's look at our colors that we have. This little guy is kind of pretty. Let's see what this little guy does. Each of these have a little bit of the orange, and this might draw that out a little bit. So let's try that. He's kind of unusual. Well, they all are unusual to me. But let's see what he looks like there. Oops. What do you guys think? Do you like that? Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. All right, let's start putting it together. So once I have my pieces laid out, now it's very important that when you put your pieces on to see if they fit or how they fit, is you make sure you have the backing still attached to your picture. You see that? So you want to make sure this is still down, because if it's not, it will stick to your picture wherever it's at. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start placing them down. So I'm going to peel that backing off, and I'm going to place them down. That looks pretty good there. We'll put him there. And then, whoops, the backing came off of this one. And we're going to put him just like that. And now that I have these other two down, I'm not sure that he is, oh no, he'll work. Ah, don't stick, don't stick until I put you where I want you. And we're going to put him right there. Okay. Now we're going to take our fancy dancy tool, which I call the thingamajig. Thanks, Miss K. And usually what I do is once I've got them all stuck down is I give them one good rub across the tops of them. One good rub, and then I'll go back and start working on one. So what you want to do is you want to gently find a corner that you can peel up and start working. Although these are down really good and the corner is not coming up for me. All right. Almost. That's how you know your transfers are sticking really well, because the plastic doesn't want to come up. There we go. I got a corner. Okay. Once you get a corner, you want to just gently lift it, and if it starts coming up, just lay it right back down and keep rubbing. Okay? And then you peel back just a little bit at a time so you can see. I hope you can see that, friends. But you see how it's coming right off of that. And so you just rub and then gently peel it back. Gently peel it back. And if you get a piece that sticks onto your plastic as you're pulling it up, just lay it right back down and rub right over top, and then it'll come right off. Now these antennas get a little tricky, so we're going to make sure they're good and down. And then gently just pull. Anything comes up with your, just lay it right back down and oh, this is going to be such a pretty picture. I can't wait. Now the words are a little tricky, so just make sure you give them a really good rub. And there we go. But once you, that's what I love about the Iron Orchid Design transfers, is they're pretty easy to peel the backing off after you've rubbed it on. They don't take a lot of elbow grease. And that's what makes them nice. And so once they're down permanently. So, but when you put a clear coat on top of your chalk paint, it just makes it a little bit more for them to grab onto. Voila! There is the first one. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that pretty? You had troubles getting, I wonder if they changed. Yeah, I'm having a little bit more. It's been a little trickier to get the little corner of the pieces up, but the transfer sticks so nicely and so easily. So I'm not sure if they did something a little different with that plastic sheet. Maybe. There we go. All right, got that corner. All right. But it doesn't take a lot of elbow grease to put these transfers down. So that's what's really nice. And I love having the grid lines. So when you're doing these pictures, you can make sure that you have it level with the top and the bottom, if that's the look you're going for. So the grid lines make it really nice to make sure you've got that going the directions you want it to go. I'm trying to do this, see, but my hand's in the way. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. And then you just gently get on there, little bug leg. Oh, 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 nope, nope. You are going to stick down. That last little piece was trying to slide right off. There is the second one. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, 6 more weeks of winter, Linda says, if he sees his shadow. Okay, so if he sees his shadow, then we get more winter. Well, he saw his shadow. That's why we get more winter. But I hear he's pretty darn accurate. That's what I hear. Which is very interesting and intriguing to me. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Miss Linda. So now I'll remember, if he sees his shadow, 6 more weeks of winter. Oh my goodness. 6 more weeks. Okay. All right. Let's do this last one. Whoop. Antenna, stay down. There we go. Voila. Okay, let me show you guys that last little guy. Look, isn't he cute? So adorable. Okay, then what I do is I take one of my plastic sheets and then I just gently go over the images. And all that does is allow me to make sure that all those edges are down. All right. There's our beautiful butterfly picture. Isn't it adorable? Good choice, my friends. Good choice. Okay, so now the next step is, all we have to do is find the piece of glass that I had. I need to wipe this off just a bit. It's kind of dirty. Well, it'll do for now. And so then we just need to put our glass piece back in, like that. And then we tip our pitcher back over, and we slide it back in. Well, get the little knobby thingies out of the way first. That helps. All right. Then we just slide our pitcher back in, like so. Put these on top. Look at our beautiful butterfly picture. Isn't that adorable? I know there's a glare. Sorry, friends. I'm trying to figure out how to get the glare. But look at that. Isn't that cute? So you still can see the wood grain on the wood. So it's just like a whitewash. See how beautiful that is? And then we have our chalk paint on the inside, and you can't see those black dots. And now we have our beautiful pictures, and we didn't even use but just a couple pieces of this whole transfer sheet. Just imagine how many more butterfly. Wouldn't it look beautiful, like a gallery wall? You could do, 4 or 5 of these and hang them all next to each other with all these pretty butterflies. So beautiful. Thanks, friends. You guys are so sweet. But such an easy project to do. So I remember I got this frame, unfinished section at Hobby Lobby, and it was $3.29 plus a percentage off. So make sure you look for those deals. We used the Dixie Belle Voodoo Stain in White Magic. Whoops, wherever that's at. There we go, White Magic. We used Dixie Belle Cotton chalk paint for the backing. Then we put a clear coat down to protect that, to protect that chalk paint. And then we did the whole frame to protect the wood in the Dixie Belle white wax. And then the beautiful Millot transfer sheet. So pretty. So pretty, friends. So the two of these together, I think, are so cute even. I don't know if you saw this one, Kay, but there's the mushroom one I did. And this is using the Tobacco Road Voodoo Stain and the brown wax. The glare. I'm sorry about the glare, friends. But look how cute these are. And they could just sit right, or you can hang them. What do you think, friends? Easy peasy. All right. So, whoops, as I'm throwing things around. Don't forget, March 18th, mark your calendar. We have the St. Patty's Day night market here at the Town Square Mall. So if you're interested, it's from 8 p.m. to midnight. There'll be lots of vendors here selling great items they've created, along with live music. There'll be a dancing area, all sorts of fun. Come check that out. Otherwise, I am open. My shop is open Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, 10 to 5. Make sure you like and follow the page because there's going to be some notifications of some changes to the shop hours. We're going to be extending those. So how exciting is that? More days of the week for you to come shop and see us. So make sure you do that so you can get those notifications. Share us out to your friends so they can join us on Saturdays as well. I would love to have them. I so appreciate crafting and creating with you guys every Saturday at 4 o'clock. Thanks, Miss Linda. And it's just such great fun. And I love showing you the products and different ways you can do it. I hope you find inspiration in that. Also, don't forget we have our Creators Corner. Feel free to share your projects in there, ask questions. It's all about inspiration and learning from each other. So take a peek at that. Please feel free to post in there. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. And hopefully I'll see you guys sometime this week. For sure, next Saturday, 4 o'clock. And I hope you guys have a great week. Stay warm, stay dry, and all of that. Thanks, my friends. Thanks for coming. Bye, friends.